everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm a little bit pale, I'm a little bit under the weather, I'm getting back to my normal self. Hope everybody is staying healthy and safe right now. It's kind of the world, it's kind of a crazy place. I am going to be creating some sort of a look, a pink inspired look using Maybelline affordable drugstore products. So that will be the video, and if you're interested in seeing me create some sort of look on my face, please keep watching. I've already applied my primer to my face. I used the Stila One Step Correct, also used the Tatcha Silk Canvas around my pore area. My nose is actually peeling off because it's so dry. I've applied oils, creams, whatever, it's still like just peeling off. So I think this would be a great choice for me today to try out. This is the Maybelline Dream BB Fresh 8-in-1 Beauty Balm. I have the shade 120 Medium Sheer Tint, and I also have 110 Light Medium Sheer Tint. So I'm assuming, because I'm kind of a little bit pasty right now, that I'm gonna be the light medium. So we're gonna try this out. Yeah, light medium will work great for me right now. So here's one side with some product on using a sponge. Here's the other side. So you can see it does make a difference. It does kind of even out my skin tone, makes me look fresh. It feels really nice too on the skin. It has like a hydrating feeling. Nothing's burning, nothing's tingling, so that's great. To the other side of my face, I'm gonna actually take a Dermablend. This is like a foundation brush. I just want to see if there's a difference if we apply it with a sponge or if we apply it with a brush. So just by looking at myself, I actually like the way the sponge kind of pushes the product into the skin. My skin looks a little bit less texturized on this side rather than the brush side. But again, very sheer product, easy to blend out. This is a light coverage. I think though, if you need a little bit more coverage, I would go in with your finger, to be honest with you, over a sponge. I think the finger, for these kind of products that are very sheer, I think a finger works really nice at spreading and kind of melting the product into the skin. Okay, so for my concealer today, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Full Coverage Super Stay Light 15 Concealer. A concealer like this, which is a lot more full coverage than the foundation, is great when you're using a lightweight foundation, just because if you do want to hide a little bit more, you can pop this on and blend it out, and it'll give you a little bit more coverage. Okay, so usually at this point I would go in, I would set my whole face with powder, then add my blush and everything else. But because I'm using cream blush today, I'm testing on a new cream blush from Maybelline, I'm going to go in with a cream contour first. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Contour Stick. I've had this in my collection for a long time. And one side has the contour, the other side has the highlight. To be quite honest with you, I don't really use the highlight shade. I wish they just made the contour stick by itself. Okay, so this number 10 is very ashy. There's not a lot of warmth to it. So if you're looking for a nice ashy kind of bronzer, you'll really like this. It's a very cool tone is what I'm trying to say. So you can use your sponge or your brush to blend this product out. It doesn't dry really quickly, which I really like. So it gives you a lot of time to kind of work the product into the skin. You don't have to work really fast or worry about it drying before you can blend it out. It's very forgiving, which is nice. Another trick too is when you're applying your cheek contour, if you're doing cream, go higher than what you would normally apply it. So usually I like my contour to be about around here, but with a cream, apply it higher because when you blend it out, it actually drops. So that's just a little trick. Apply it higher than what you normally would, just because when you blend it out, normally it will drop a little bit lower. Okay, so Maybelline sent over 3 Cheek Heat Sheer Gel Cream Blushes. I have not tried any of these yet. So I have number 10, which is Pink Scorch, 20, which is Rose Flush, and 25, which is Fuchsia Spark. I'm actually just squeezing out some product now on the back of my hand. First, I'm going to take my beauty blender. I know it says to use your fingers, but I feel like this will work. And it does. So I'm just blending this. This is number 10 into my cheek, and I would advise you to layer, go slow with this product, don't go in too hard. So this blush is supposed to give you a sheer flush of color. It's supposed to be natural looking with a dewy finish. It's also water-based and oil-free. I'm actually going to squeeze a little bit of this color, number 25, just on the back of my hand as well. I want a little bit more color on my face, so I'm hoping this will do it. To be honest with you, this number 10 is almost like too sheer for me. Maybe if you were like super pale, this might go on a little bit nicer. So I'm going to go in with number 25 now, which is more on the brighter side. This color is more of what I'm looking for. It's giving me a little bit more of a pink feel. So now I want to set my concealer underneath my eyes because I'm not applying any more cream products. So at this point, what I like to do, because I kind of left it a little bit, I like to take my ring finger and kind of just work in any concealer that has started to crease. But to be honest with you, this Superstay concealer, I find it doesn't really crease that bad at all. So I just like to push my finger, kind of smooth out any fine lines. I'm going in with my COTY Airspun powder, lightly set underneath my eye with a Real Technique setting brush. So I'm just pushing a little bit of powder. I like to kind of just push product in, a little bit of powder, push it in, blend it out. A little bit is better than a lot of it. I'm gonna set my whole face. I actually have the Maybelline, what is it called? I think it's a Fit Me powder, which I love, but the shade I have right now is for when I'm tanned, and I'm not tanned at all. So I have the shade, I think 220, which is like on the medium side, so I can't use that. I thought I had the lighter one, but I used it all. So to set my whole face, I'm gonna go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in number 11 Creamy Natural, which is a really beautiful, nice powder. Very lightweight, great at setting the face. I don't want a lot of this. I don't want to add color to my face. I just want to set my face because I do get oily. Now, if you're the type of person who is super dry and skip powder, absolutely. You don't need to use powder. Cream is your best friend. But I have the opposite problem. I am oily and I get super oily throughout the day. So I gotta kind of set everything with some powder. Okay, so next up I have this in my collection. I thought I might as well use it because it's Maybelline. Why not? So this is the Maybelline Master Contour number 10 Face Contouring Kit. So because I've already applied some cream bronzer, I'm going to go a little bit lightly with this powder bronzer. The great thing about this palette number 10 is the bronzer, the contour shade in here is very light. It's not too dark, so it will just complement what I've already done. Now you don't have to do any of this step. You can totally skip any extra contour, any extra blush, but let's face it, I'm extra myself, so I do like a nice kind of chiseled face sometimes, you know? Now I still have that pink flush from the gel cheek things that I tried out, which I really, really like. So you can still see it peeking through. It's up to you, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of this blush in this palette just to give my cheeks a little bit more color. See, just kind of, it gives it a little bit more, you know? Okay, and now I'm gonna pop on a little bit of highlight too, also using the same highlighter in this palette. This is a really great highlighting brush. It's from Smashbox and it's called the Precise Highlighting Brush. It's great if you kind of just, like it says, you want precise application, because sometimes when you use a little bit more of a bigger fan brush, you don't get that really precise application to where you really want the product to go. So this gives you a really healthy, just subtle glow. Nothing over the top. So now I'm going to set my entire face. I did have the Maybelline setting spray, but I ran out. I love that setting spray. It's an amazing drugstore setting spray. But I have this new one right now. So I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Light Velvet Air setting spray. It has shine control properties. I'm all about that life. Okay, so next up I'm going to be testing out the Maybelline The Blushed Nudes palette. I actually have not tried this palette out. I've tried a lot of their palettes and I love a lot of their palettes, but this one I've actually not tested out. So we are going to be creating some sort of look using that. So first I'm going to prime my eye with my favorite eye primer. This is the Benefit Stay Don't Stray. So I'm just going to push a little bit of this onto my eye. Okay, so first I'm going to set my eye. I'm going to be using a little bit of this shade, which is a little bit brighter. Also dipping into this kind of blush pink nude shade. So I'm going to mix the two together. Okay, so for my crease, I'm going in with this NYX number 16 brush. I'm going to dip into this, it's like a taupey kind of grayish brown color. So I'm going to pick some of that up on my brush. This shade is going on very sheer, which I thought was going to happen because it looks super light. And actually in the pan it looks more brown, but on my eye it's applying a little bit more pink. Next I'm dipping into this brown shade right down here. It's a little bit darker, so I'm going to go in with the same brush because it will apply a little bit less harsh with a fluffier kind of brush. So I'm dipping it with that. It's not matte, it has a little bit of a gold reflex in it, but I'm going to kind of try to work it in the crease to give it a little bit more definition. There's not a lot of kickback with this palette either, which is nice. There's not a lot of fallout in the pan. Okay, so next I'm picking up this MAC, it's a 213 brush, and I'm going to take the exact same two colors I just mixed in my crease. So I'm going to go in with the very light kind of brown pink color, dipping into the darker brown here. I'm just going to run that right along the lash line. So I'm going to keep using this brush, the same one I just used underneath my lash line. I'm going to pick up now this pink kind of mauve-y, has a glitter to it. So we're going to pick up that. I'm going to start to push this shade on the outsides of my eye. So I actually just went in with this Maybelline setting spray. I have a tiny bit left, so when I get down to the very bottom, obviously it doesn't squirt out properly, so I just save it for when I want to wet my makeup brushes. But I just wet my brush with the Maybelline Lasting Fix setting spray, picked back up that pink purple color, applied it again over top of what I just laid down, and the pigment is so much better when you apply it wet. Here it is on this side with no setting spray. It just kind of looks like a wash, sheer wash of color. But when you apply the setting spray on this side, it's just like a pop, which I love. So I do highly recommend taking some of your setting spray on your brush and then picking up the shadow. It just will really intensify the look. So next I'm going to take this shade right here, which is like a sparkly black brown. I don't even know what it is. It has like gold in it. No clue. So I'm just going to take the same brush. It's still a little bit damp. I'm going to push my brush into it. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to run it right, almost like where you would apply eyeliner, just to the very base of the outer corner of my eye. And I'm just going to start to work that in, blending upwards. You can also take whatever's left over and bring it down to the very lower lash line, just on the very corner to kind of tie the look together. Okay, so before I apply my liquid eyeliner, I'm going in with this Lise Watier. This is the waterproof pencil in Blackest Black, and I'm just going to go into the waterline and up in the lash line up in there. So I'm going to quickly do that. So I'm just realizing I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun and forgot to do my inner corner with shadow. I don't think it's ever happened to me. So I'm going to actually use this Maybelline sponge thing that comes in this palette. This is kind of good for this purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sponge and I'm going to dip into this nice gold shade right here. And I'm going to start to press that right in the inner corners of my eye. And then I'm going to flip it around to the more pointed side and then just go right in the inner corners. I'm actually going to add a little bit of this pink color that we use on the outer corners too with the sponge. I'm going to push that underneath the lash line but focus it more, not right in the inner corner, but a quarter of the way over. Okay, so next up I'm testing out the Maybelline 800 Pitch Black Hyper Easy Eyeliner. This is supposed to smooth, even lines, resist skips and gaps, which is great. Easy glide up to 24-hour wear, smudge resistant, intense color. Point on here is so precise, and what's great about this too, it's not a felt tip, it's a brush tip. So that will not dry out as fast as a felt tip, so that's also promising. So I'm going to start to work this from the inner corner and pull it along to the outer corner of my eye. This is actually so easy to use. It's so precise and it does glide on effortlessly and does not skip. I wasn't going to do a wing, but because this is so precise, I feel like I can master it. So I'm going to try it. So for my lashes, I'm going to be using the Lash Sensational Washable Mascara by Maybelline in the shade Blackest Black. Okay, so for my eyebrow, I wanted to keep it Maybelline just because I'm using all Maybelline products for the most part. I'm going to try this out again. This is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Gel in the shade Soft Brown. Okay, so I just brushed my brow hairs down. I'm just going to start to feather this product through the eyebrows. Honestly, a little bit goes a long way. I think the first time when I tried this out on my channel, I think I took this and I like ran it through with this in my eyebrow. Bad mistake. So anyways, when you're using it with a little brush, it's actually great. And it does have a lot of holding power. Has a lot of gel or something, I don't know what it is, almost like a pomade that kind of holds the brows down. I think that this color personally is a little bit too dark for me, but that's okay because I'm going to fix it in a minute. So I'm just going to kind of give my brows the shape with this product first. And now just to kind of tone it down the shade, I'm using this e.l.f. brow gel. It's called the Wow Brow in Taupe. I love this stuff. I need to pick up more. I'm going to use this. And now I'm just going to kind of run it in through the brow. It's going to lighten the brow a little bit, put a little bit of hold on it, make them look natural. I really love this product. Okay, so now I'm going to finish off my look with a lip. So I'm going to go in and quickly line my lip with the NYX matte lip liner in the shade Whipped Caviar. So I'm going to go quickly 222, 200, 233, 266. So I'm using 233 Pink Rose for my lipstick. Then I also mixed in a little bit of the shade 200 Rose Embrace. Okay, so this is the end of my Maybelline inspired makeup look. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos. Stay healthy out there. Thanks for watching.